Honda, the world's largest producer of internal combustion engines, has long been synonymous with precision engineering and top-notch quality. However, with the global shift towards electrification, Honda finds itself navigating uncharted territory. While the company has a reputation for innovation, its foray into electric vehicles, EVs, comes at a time when reliability concerns loom large over the industry. In this context, Honda CEO Toshihiro Mibe's recent revelations about the challenges of EV reliability highlight the complexities facing manufacturers in this evolving landscape. As we delve into the intricacies of EV technology and market dynamics, it becomes evident that Honda's journey into electrification is fraught with both opportunities and obstacles. Number 6. Electric vehicles, EVs, exhibit significantly higher unreliability compared to internal combustion, IC cars. According to the most recent survey conducted by Consumer Reports, encompassing over 330,000 vehicles manufactured from 2000 to 2023, it is evident that electric cars are notably less dependable than their gas-powered counterparts. Despite EVs having a smaller number of potential problem areas than traditional cars, they still experience a staggering 80% more issues than IC cars. This fact may seem perplexing, considering the perceived simplicity of EVs, which mainly consist of batteries and electric motors, devoid of complex engine components, and the need for routine tasks like oil changes. However, it appears that this new technology requires refinement over time. While initial concerns may have centered around high-tech features, the majority of reported problems actually revolve around battery performance and charging infrastructure, affecting various manufacturers. In addition to battery and software issues, consumers have also noted numerous quality flaws, encompassing both exterior body panels and interior components. Gas-powered cars, alongside a specific group of hybrids, notably those featuring self-charging mechanisms from companies like Toyota and Honda, remain the most reliable options. Conversely, plug-in hybrids, due to their inherent complexity, are substantially less dependable, causing 146% more complications than traditional gas engines. Number 5. The Chevy Blazer EV case. As mentioned, Honda was a little bit late in the EV game, so the only way to remain relevant was to join forces with someone who has advanced more in this technology. But Honda might have made the wrong choice because it teamed up with GM Motors. On paper, GM seems like a natural choice with its Ultium battery technology. In reality, there are more problems than expected. And that's definitely something the Honda CEO should be worried about, because the same technology is planned for the initial all-electric Honda. Honda is working on its own technology, but it won't be ready in the next few years. Meanwhile, Honda's first all-electric model for the North American market is on the way, called the Prologue. It'll be based on the recently introduced Chevy Blazer EV, a model that takes the central spot in this section of the video, but not for a particularly good reason. Namely, the new SUV is one of the most problematic EVs on the market. Customers are complaining about so many different things, starting from the battery and charging issues, all kinds of infotainment problems, and similar things. The best example is definitely the recent test conducted by guys from Edmunds. They bought a brand new Blazer EV, and within 2 months and less than 2,000 miles, 23 different issues occurred, including some strange warnings, including the one that informed about the inability to charge, even though the car wasn't plugged in at all, as well as numerous restarts and reboots of the infotainment system. The problem is in software, which shows some pretty serious errors, even though GM officials said none of them are safety-related. An even bigger problem is that the same software will be used in the Prologue. And with the way GM is dealing with issues at the moment, Honda really doesn't have a good reason to feel too optimistic. Number 4. High-tech headache. Honda has always been one of the most reliable car makers in the world, partly because of impeccable engineering, and partly because of the fact that its models have always been relatively simple, free of unnecessary high-tech goodies. That's exactly what worries Honda's CEO, because if you look at how EVs are designed, Something doesn't seem right. Despite that, essentially electric cars are simpler than internal combustion cars. Automakers are advertising them as some kind of technological wonders. One of the ways to put emphasis on the technological side of the vehicle is to install all kinds of high-end tech features that are essentially unnecessary. Just take a look at EVs and their overcomplicated infotainment systems, lack of physical control, or super advanced driver assist features. Their integration with the car is what causes most of the problems, not the battery or electric motors. So the question is, can Honda offer a more balanced solution like it's been offering in the internal combustion universe? Could it offer a modern and competitive EV without making it over-designed and over-equipped with tech features? Is that even possible with a reliance on GM's Ultium technology, which obviously doesn't work properly? The aforementioned Blazer EV isn't the only example. The same issues trouble other models as well, including the Cadillac Lyriq and GMC Hummer. Number 3. Range anxiety and infrastructure. Years are passing, and we're still waiting for that monumental breakthrough that would finally make range anxiety obsolete. Namely, despite all the massive improvements we've seen in the last few years, EVs are still far away from the desired level of autonomy. Most of them offer between 250 and 300 miles, which is great for daily commuting, but still far away from something most consumers can rely on. Long journeys are still complicated with electric vehicles, and that leads us to the second biggest cause of range anxiety. Besides the autonomy, there's the matter of infrastructure. Taking longer trips can be a logistical nightmare in many cases, because the charging network is still far from perfect. That particularly refers to rural areas where the distances between two stations are way too long to travel without worries. Of course, the network is much better in urban areas, but there's still not enough chargers. Lines are a common thing, but even if the station is not crowded, recharging takes time, even with the fastest chargers. Not to mention the consumers have reported so many problems with public chargers, especially at Electrify America stations. Number 2. Growth slowing down. For months, we've been talking about the so-called EV meltdown, and indeed, the growth is slowing down for numerous reasons. If you look at the period between June 2022, the average growth of the EV market was around 90% annually. If you look at the period between June 2022 and June 2023, the growth went down to 50%, and experts are suggesting further slowdown in the future. As mentioned, reasons are numerous, starting from the fact that the phase of early adopters is over. Wealthy households and tech enthusiasts have bought their EVs, and car makers haven't managed to adapt their offer to the masses. EVs are still way too expensive for an average buyer, even if we include the tax credit and other benefits from the government. They're still more expensive than their gas-powered counterparts. Number 1. Profitability. Despite their quest for engineering perfection, Honda is just like any other company in the world, primarily driven by profit. And with that in mind, we're pretty sure that the Honda CEO doesn't feel too optimistic about electrification because automakers still haven't figured out the economy of EVs. They're still losing money on EVs and use the profit made from gas-powered cars for further investment. EV adoption is much slower than expected, and that creates a vicious circle where you have companies that desperately need profit from affordable, high-volume mainstream EVs that haven't been released yet. The situation is getting more complicated with the companies being unable to optimize the production process. The production costs are still too high, and even with massive discounts companies have been offering in the last several months, they cannot attract enough buyers to make their investments profitable. Honda is probably in an even harder position, as it's forced both to buy and develop EV technology. At the moment, the only mitigating circumstance is that Honda is a company that makes huge profits from internal combustion engines, so it probably has more capital to invest than most other companies. Does that make Honda CEO Toshihiro Mibe feel more optimistic about the EV future? We're not so sure. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.